The night hasn't ended. The night wind swept across the narrow road, leading to Michael's old wooden house, the place where all the horror had begun. Stillwater, Montana, once a quiet town, now carrying a chilling fracture within its silence. The townsfolk whispered unbelievable stories about Michael's death, about the grotesque scene that Officer Harris had witnessed with his own eyes. But those rumors were like dry leaves in the wind. No one dared to pick them up. No one dared to dig deeper. Harris was different. He couldn't sleep. He had filed the report. He had convinced his superiors unidentified causes. But the shadow never left him. Michael's bulging eyes, the skin-cutting chill in that room, the strange noises inside rotten wooden walls. Even after leaving, Harris felt something clinging to him, silent, patient, never looking away. That night, he returned. The black pickup stopped, headlights falling on the half-closed door, as if it had been waiting. No one around, no sound, only old pines whispering in the wind. Harris grabbed the flashlight, stepped out, each step cracking the frozen ground, his pistol in hand, not out of habit, but because this time it wasn't just humans he might face. He pushed the door open. Inside, unchanged, the dark living room, the smell of mold, ash, bloodstains still on the floor, even though the forensics had scrubbed it clean and the walls cracked like veins of something alive beneath the wood. A shiver ran through him. Then, a creak, faint. Upstairs, he froze, held his breath, gun raised, light searching shadows. Who's there? His voice rasped into the silence. No answer. Only the whistle of wind and groaning wood. Harris climbed the stairs, step by step, heartbeat pounding. Michael's room waited. At the end of the hall, door ajar, like a trap, the air thickened, breath came harder, the temperature dropped, his exhale misted pale. Memories stabbed back into him, his grip tightened. He pushed the door. Inside, same room, broken bed frame, crooked desk, windows staring into the forest. But now, new. Symbols on the walls, painted in dried blood, twisting, intersecting, a warped circle. His pulse hammered. He raised the phone, flash lit the room, and he heard it. A breath, right, behind him, wet, heavy. He spun nothing. The room was empty, yet eyes pressed against his skin, watching. The flashlight flickered, then died. Darkness swallowed everything. He fumbled. Click, the beam returned, and Harris froze. In the mirror, a figure, thin frame, hair in tatters, eyes rolled white. Michael, but when he turned, no one, only himself, face pale, breath broken, a sound. Click, the door. Closing on its own, darkness spilled down the hallway. The house was waking. Harris stumbled down the stairs, heartbeat wild, sweat cold. He reached the door, stopped dead. On the dusty floor, footprints, wet from Michael's room, down the hall, down the stairs, to the door, and further outside, into the forest. His throat tightened. This was no illusion. From deep in the woods, a gust of wind, but twisted, sounding like laughter. Harris bolted into his truck, engine roaring, headlights cutting the trees, and then a figure, thin, hollow-eyed, lips moving, standing meters away. His heart stopped. He hit the gas. The figure, gone, mist only. The truck tore through the road, house shrinking in the distance. But Harris knew he had stepped deeper into the abyss. Michael was only the beginning, and one question echoed in his skull: what is that entity really? That night, the rain fell endlessly, tapping against the glass panes of Harris's temporary lodging on the outskirts of town. Outside, the sky tore open with blinding streaks of lightning, only to collapse back into suffocating darkness. Harris sat motionless, sunken eyes fixed on the files scattered across the table. Files about Michael, files about a death without a cause, files about conflicting testimonies from the townsfolk, and photographs, soaked in shadows so heavy it felt as if the camera had swallowed the photographer's very soul. He closed his eyes. Michael's deformed face burned into his memory. Those wide, unblinking eyes, as if still staring at something unspeakable, something beyond human comprehension. Harris shivered. A sound, soft, subtle, creaking, like footsteps on old wood. He sprang to his feet, hand on his gun, eyes sweeping the room. No, nothing, only his own shadow, stretched long across the trembling wall beneath the weak yellow glow. Harris drew in a sharp breath. Forced calm. He returned to the table. But the files were different, shuffled, pages overturned, photos moved. And right in the center, one photograph he had never seen before. Michael, sitting in his room, but behind him, in the dark window frame, a face. A face long and distorted, eyes hollow, mouth stretched wide in a grotesque smile. Harris's heart pounded. He flinched, dropping the photo. When he bent down to retrieve it, the picture was blank. Michael alone. No shadow, no face. The next day, Harris drove back to the town. The road was smothered in thick fog, like a veil draped over secrets that refused to surface. Houses sagged with age, their roofs damp with mold, windows sealed shut, dark, hollow sockets staring back at him. The townsfolk avoided his gaze. When he drew near, they turned away, hurriedly locking their doors. Only one old woman remained, standing on her porch. Her clouded eyes trembled as they fixed on him. "You shouldn't be here," she whispered, voice rough and broken. "They don't spare outsiders." Michael was only the beginning. Harris frowned. "You know what happened to Michael?" The old woman shook her head, trembling. "It's not that I know, it's that I remember. They came here long ago, and they never left." Before Harris could ask more, the door slammed shut. Silence swept through the street once again, heavy, suffocating, absolute. That night, Harris returned to the house where Michael had died. It stood apart at the edge of the village, roof sagging, walls scarred and peeling as though time itself had gnawed them bare. The door creaked open. The stench of rot and damp embraced him, cold, suffocating, like an invisible hand closing tight around his throat. Each step, the floorboards groaned, like weary sighs. His flashlight traced across peeling wallpaper, abandoned furniture, forgotten memories. The house breathed, alive, watching him, swallowing every step he took. In the living room, he froze. The walls bore deep claw marks, stretching from ceiling to floor, as if someone or something had tried to rip reality apart. Harris reached out, brushing the scars. Instantly, a chill raced down his spine. From the corner of the room, a whisper, soft but clear. "Michael," Harris spun, gun drawn, flashlight sweeping. Nothing, only darkness. He clenched his jaw, steady, focused. Then, another whisper. Closer, right against his ear. Harris, his body jolted. He stumbled back. And when his beam struck the old mirror on the wall, his breath stopped. Not his reflection. Michael, pale face, eyes black, lips moving without sound. Harris raised a trembling hand, touched the mirror, and then a hand, cold, clammy, from inside the glass. It seized his wrist. Harris screamed, yanking free. The mirror shattered, shards cutting deep into his skin. Blood trickled. But the room was empty. No hand, no whisper, only him and the relentless pounding of his heart. That night, Harris didn't sleep. Every corner of the room seemed to echo with whispers. Every shadow laughed, distorted, broken. He knew now. He had gone too far. The town's secret had sunk its claws into him. And Michael, perhaps Michael had never truly left. If this story gave you chills, share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you won't miss the upcoming part by.